Hey guys, it's Tyler, and today I'm going to go through my new summer gear loadout for a 3-day backpacking trip. Now, this is going to be really ultra light. I'm going as super light as I can go for this trip. So let's get into it. Alright, so as I said, I'm going like almost stupid ultralight. I want to try a whole bunch of new different things, see how it works, see if it works. Definitely going out of my comfort zone for this one, but I've seen people do worse, and it's summer, so I'm happy to try this out. Now, starting off, this is my brand new backpack from Atom Packs. This is the Atom 30 litre. So as you can see, it's pretty small, but the quality that this thing is made out of is, like, I can already tell it's amazing. So I'm really keen to get this out on trail. And I will be having to do a review on this because this already is ticking so many boxes. I won't go over it too much, but so this is my new pack, and we'll start off with what's on the outside. As you can see, I've got my trekking pole here. So I usually hike with one in my hand, and then what I'll do is have this one attached. Unless I'm going through some rough terrain or something like that, I might have to pull this one out, but got a trekking pole. On this side here, just have a 1 litre smart water bottle with the sports cap. And also inside here is another new bit of gear that I have. This is the PEDCO ULTRAPOD 3. Of course with the phone attachment, because I use a phone for videoing. So this thing is light. I'm kind of a little bit nervous to try this because I usually use a Joby Gorilla, which is what I'm using now to film on. And just because that's more flexible and you can hang it from trees and things. So keen to see how this one works, but it's so much more lighter. So definitely happy with that purchase. The other side, just another smart water bottle there. Now, this pack here has shoulder pockets. One of them will keep my phone in there, and the other one keeps my mic, but I'm using that to film as we speak, so that's what I keep in there. Now, this pad has removable hip belt, but it's just your normal, kind of like your chest strap, so I don't have pockets or anything, but I can probably fit a snack in here if I want. Also, underneath is a pocket, and in here I keep another new bit of gear that I got. Now, this is my rain jacket. This is the LIGHTHEART gear rain jacket. So I purchased this very recently, so I'm keen to see how this goes. We're not expecting rain, but where I'm going, it's on the coast. I live in Melbourne, and people who know Melbourne, the weather, you need to prepare for rain. So I've got my rain jacket. Also in here, I've got a spare Ziploc bag, and that is for my mic, just in case it does rain. And the cool thing about this pocket, so you've got a side entrance. There's also a little entrance here, so if you've got some rubbish or something, just stick it in. Now, on this mesh, it's not even mesh, I can't remember the material of this, but this is so much better than mesh. So I have the 3F UL 45 litre, and that's mesh. And being mesh, like with the nets and stuff, like the little tiny holes, I feel like my trowel might break, like rip it, and then it's just gonna extend, or a tree branch or whatever when I'm walking past might clip it. So I'm a bit nervous about that, but it's done well so far. And this one's even better in my opinion. So let's have a look at what we got in here. Now, right on top, I have a little plastic, kind of like a mini Ziploc bag. This has some hand sanitizer and a bidet. No toilet paper, don't need that. when you got this. And I love that bit of gear. It was weird first using it, but it definitely does a wicked job. Next we have Hydro Blue VERSAFLOW water filter. So that's just, of course, filter my water. And just a little stick or roll on sunscreen, because I'd rather not have to rub it everywhere, and I could just apply it and keep going. Next up is the DEUCE number 2. So this one I've spoken about in a couple other videos. This has more of softer edges, so it doesn't feel like it's going to cut into your hand when you're digging those cat holes to practice leaving no trace. What else we got in here? So we got my ditty bag. I'll go over in a minute. Now, this is a TROWEL, like my long handle spork. This is the bag that it came in, but this is the lightest bag that I own. So I thought about not using a bag, but I just don't want to risk damaging my new bag. But in here, what I keep is another new purchase, and that is 6 MSR Groundhog Minis. Of course, got to be ultralight, so we had to remove a little bit of rope. We didn't need that. And then I just got 2 titanium shepherd hooks, just in case. You never know when they might come in handy. Before I get my ditty bag, a couple other bits and pieces. So this is a polycro ground sheet, which goes with my shelter. Now, I'm trying something new, as I've mentioned at the start. So you'll see why I'm carrying this, because most of you might know already, I don't usually carry ground cloth. If I do, it's usually in the winter, and I usually carry an emergency blanket, so it adds extra warmth and also classed like a survival option if you ever need it. But I'm trying out this to see how this little trip works. I believe that is it though. Yep. So this bag, as you guys know, all ultralight, can't recommend enough. Now what I'll also do, I'll put a link for everything that I can find down below in the comments. So if you want to check it out yourself, have a look, compare, do some comparing of what you've got, what you're looking at, and yeah, might help you out. So just unload this. So right up top, I have a bug net. So it's been said on this trail at the moment, because there's a lot of floods there not too long ago, that the mosquitoes in some parts are pretty bad. So I thought I'd grab my Cedar Summit head net. Now I'm fairly certain this is coated in permethrin, so that hopefully is going to help. Next up, we have a little knife. Now this is just the Swiss Army Classic. Now it's just got what you need, the basics. And the main one you're going to use is this here, the scissors. I don't think I've ever used a knife, but you know, it's got a knife, it's got the file, it's got a toothpick, it's got tweezers, it's got what you need. But honestly, you don't need to be carrying your big Rambo knife, because you're just never going to use it. Then I have, so this is a light load towel. This is the reusable ones, so not the one-off use and then throw them out. Not sure if I'm ever going to use this, but just want to keep it in there just in case, you know, maybe cleaning out my pot or whatever, because I'm not taking a buff or a little Chuck's cloth this time round. So there's that. Then what I have here, this is my repair kit slash first aid kit. Now, it's not really much of a repair kit. The only thing that is going to help with repairing is actually, I've got a bit of tenacious tape in here. Apart from that, all I've got is an extra sports cap, 2 earbuds in case you've got that, you know, snorer in camp. Also I've got 3 aquatab things in case my water filter decides not to work. Then I've got, I believe, 3 alcohol wipes, and then in here I've got a little tube, and I keep ibuprofen in there. On one side there's a bunch of Leuco tape wrapped up, and then on the other side I've got a whole bunch of like thread. Inside the tube I also keep the needle in case I've got to repair any gear. And then last bit of stuff in there. So this is my electronics. in here. Once again, we've got another new purchase. Now this is the Nightcore 1000 milliamp hour battery bank. I can't believe the size of this and how light it is. So my last power bank was the exact same, 10,000 milliamp, but it was double the width. The height was a bit more, and just the thickness as well on my other one was thicker and so much heavier. So this thing's tiny, and I can't believe this spins me out, but I'm really glad that I upgraded to this one. I've got in here just a couple of cables. I've got my headlamp of choice, which is another Nightcore. This is the NU25. I've taken the shock cord off because I've noticed I don't have it on my head. When I use my head torch, I like to hold it because that way you see the shadows better, which then in turn, you're not going to trip. But I don't do a lot of night hiking anyway, so that's more so just if I'm rummaging around my tent. So that's my headlamp, and then I also keep one of those desiccant bags in here, and that's just to keep any moisture that does manage to get in out. So that's it for the outside of my pack. Let's go into the body. So that's just got like your normal, it's kind of like a Y strap, a little bit different, it's just, single strap. Does the same job as a Y strap. Your typical clip, roll, and it's got 2 buttons, just one on each side. Now, in here, right on top, is my food bag. So this is all loaded, ready to go for this trip. 3 days worth of food. And if you're interested in what I usually take on a 3-day hike food wise, what I'll do is I'll put a link up in the cards. I think it's this side. Just if you want to have a look at that, because I uploaded a video not too long ago. Now in here, I'm not going to go through my food, but I will show you a couple bits and bobs that I have in here. So my sport is I've upgraded. So I used to use the Human Gear Duo, which is like a clip and snap together one. But I was finding food was getting stuck in the snap bits, and I was cleaning it, and it was just really annoying. So I thought I'd just finally opt out to a TROWEL long handle. So much better, so much lighter, more, it's not like compactable, but it fits in places a lot better because the Duo's a lot thicker. That's my sport. Now, this is my pot. In here, all I've got is actually bits of food just to take up some extra room. But I'm not carrying the stove or the gas on this trip. One of my buddies who's coming with me, he will be. So it makes it a bit lighter and easier for me. So I take the TROWEL 750, so that's what I'll still be boiling water in, probably eating out of. But yeah, lucky for me, my buddy's carrying a couple extra bits, so almost like I'm cold soaking in the sense. Now, next up is my tent. As you probably guys already know, this is the DEUCE X-Mid, 1 person, but we're going a bit different. So this hike, what I've done, taken out the inner. So the inner is now removed, and this is just a fly, and that's why I have that polygrowth. So I'm a bit nervous. So this is almost like a tarp setup. And here in Australia, as people who, Australian or not, they know we've got some spiders and snakes and things. But I learnt from Bear Grylls back in the day when I used to watch him, Man vs Wild. He said what you do is you kick away, make like a big patch, make it all flat out, move all the leaves, sticks and all that stuff, and then put where you're sleeping in the middle. And snakes and a lot of other insects and bugs, or bigger ones more so, when they see the opening, they get nervous because they know that something's around there, so they won't actually cross into it, especially snakes. So mosquitoes, I'll probably have the head net on or something like that. I'll just have to deal with that part. As long as there's no snakes in my tent, I'm happy. So yeah, I've gone with the inner. I've removed the inner, and I'm keen to see how this works. And also takes off, I think, 300, 400 grams. So this now, as this sits like this is 503 grams. So it's pretty light. Next up, so this is going to be hard to get out, so I'm going to have to cut the video because for some reason I think I need to get a smaller dry bag for what I'm using here because my quilt is puffing out. But I'll get there. Okay, so that was the mission. But this is what it's doing. It's puffing out. And it's really frustrating because I can get this down more than half the size, but my quilt is just puffing it out and it's making it hard to get in and out. So I think I need to maybe downsize on the bag so it hasn't got as much room to move. So it looks like I'm doing another trip over to Orb Ultralight. And as we get into, before I get into this, you can probably see now this is hanging out. This is gonna be my sleep pad. I'm nervous for this. I've never used a foam pad before. I've always used blow-ups. So this is, I believe, 1/4. I don't know how the terminology works. Most people get the 1/8 inch like foam light pad, which is 3 millimeters. This one's 6, so it's a bit more. But what I've also done, cut it down to torso length. So this goes from the back of my neck down to just below my hips. I'm gonna give this a go. And that's another reason for the polycro, so my quilt doesn't get dirty. So wish me luck on that one, guys. And as we get back into this, so open it up. Now in here is my quilt. Even though it's summer, this quilt is, I always forget. So I've been saying 20 degrees, but I actually believe it's 30 degrees. I need to go through my emails and double check that one. I'm fairly certain this is a 30 degree Fahrenheit quilt, which I believe is 7 degrees Celsius. So yes, it is summer. Probably won't even need this, but I know where we're going. It gets really cold at the night time. So maybe it is a closed foot box, so maybe I'll just have my feet in there. Not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but this is the lightest option I have. I thought about going as like a sleeping bag liner kind of thing, but I don't want to take the risk of just going too stupid. So I'm going to still take in my quilt. Plus I love this thing, it's so comfortable and just does the job. So in here I have my Cedar Summit Aeros pillow. So even though this trip I'm going stupid ultralight, I thought about not taking a pillow. I've already cut out a lot of comfort. Like I have to just keep a pillow. I'm going on a foam pad. Surely a pillow is not going to kill me. So I got my pillow. This is another new purchase. This is from Zero Gear. This is their Alpha Direct hoodie. This thing is so soft. Love the color. It's nice orange. It is really, really well made. Yeah, as I said, it's really soft. It fits perfectly. It's super light. It feels super warm. So I'm really keen to see how this goes on those cold mornings, even possibly the cold nights. The temperature, even though it's summer here, so far it's still about a week out before we go, but every day is looking about 20, 22 degrees. So see how that holds up. And I know in the morning it's going to be cold, so keen to try that one. And then last 2 bits of gear we've got here. This is just my sleep top, so I get out of my stinky hiking shirt. This is just merino wool base layer, just a nice around something a bit nicer to keep me a bit warm as well, especially if I don't have this on me. And then another spare pair of socks. So of course I have socks on my feet. So I managed to get my favorite pair, which I'll show you in a minute. That's what I'm actually starting off with. But then I also got these new little patterns. This is like a sunset cactus. So keen to try these out in summer, as I've only tried in ginger out in the winter. That's my other bit of gear, and that's everything that is in my pack. What I'll do is I'll show you what I'll be wearing when I start my hike. Welcome back. Here's the gear that I'm taking, and to start off with, I have my other trekking pole, and this has got a bunch of duct tape wrapped around it just for whatever someone, me or a fellow hiker might need something for. So there's that. Top of my head, what I'll be wearing is this cap. I do have a hat coming with my logo on there, which I was hoping was going to make it in time, but it's due in the week after I come back from the hike, so I was a bit spewing with that. But it's just a mesh back hat, just so my head breathes a little bit. Next up, I'll be wearing my sun hoodie. This thing is a lifesaver. It's got the thumb holes, it's got the hood, it's very breathable. Doesn't hold your sweat, and as it's supposed to do, it keeps the sun away. This thing's just a little purchase I got from Amazon, and I probably need to order a couple more of these just in case I can't find them anymore or whatever it may be. But this one works, and this one is amazing. Next up, my shorts. Now, I don't carry any underwear because these have a liner on the inside, so there's no need for the extra bit of weight. This, I find when I have underwear, tried different types of underwear, and I still manage to chafe somewhere along my trip. I notice with these liners that are in the shorts, I don't chafe at all. It's more breathable and it just feels nice as I'm walking. So these are just your basic running shorts. And it's got the slit up the side, and they do what they need to do. Next up, socks and shoes. Now here are my little friends. I managed to get this was the last pair in Melbourne of these patterns because it was like a limited edition thing now, and the cactus ones are the new ones. So I'm so happy I managed to get these ones after my last trip. They caught on fire. So that's what I'll be starting out with, and once again these are the Gingy toe socks. And then the shoes I am taking my Asics trail runners with insoles being put in. I've actually got a video coming up and it's comparing between trail runners and boots, so make sure you check that one out when it comes. But that's all that I am taking. Now, hope you guys liked the video. If you could, I'd love it if you could subscribe, hit that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated, and also make sure you hit the bell notification so you get notified on the next video. And with that being said, hope to see y'all out on trail, and I'll see you on the next one.